Hi everybody, it's Abby again from Bluebeard, and it's Valentine's Day. So for this season, we decided to put together a nice 4-course dinner for you and your loved one. So it's a menu for 2, and we're going to show it off. And we're going to show you from start to finish. So when you pick it up at the dolly doors, I'm going to show you how to take it out of the package and the staging, and then the rewarming and the plating. That you can do whatever you want with all the items, but this is how I would prefer. So you're gonna pick up a bag, and it's a beautiful brown bag that has a beautiful heart on it. So this will be the first course, which is the chowder, and we're gonna go through these individually, so don't worry. And then the second course, one of my favorites, spaghetti meatballs with the Pomodoro Sauce. And of course, garlic bread. So that's course 2. And then for the 4th course, also one of my favorites, is we're going to do a roasted duck breast with a duck confit hash with kohlrabi, carrots, celery root, horseradish, cream sauce, and then a Luxardo cherry demi, and some fried shallots, of course. And then for dessert, we'll have some beautiful cheesecake, blood orange, which is awesome. So we'll get started by dissecting each of the bags. So I'm going to just put each of the courses in a different pan just for mise en place purposes. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to explain some of the things that you might need while you're rewarming all of these things. So first, you need to have your oven at 350. I would like for you to have a pot of salted water boiling for the pasta for the second course. You would definitely need to have a strainer for the boiling pasta. You're also going to need, so that's first course, sorry about that. You're going to need a roasting rack for the duck, or maybe just a skillet would work. That way, because it's already going to be, how do you say, rendered on the skin side, so then all you need to do is just put it in a skillet and then just rewarm it. And then you're gonna need a saucepan, one for the chowder, you're gonna need one for the Pomodoro meatball sauce, and then we'll put dessert over here. And then for the 3rd course, I'm doing this so you don't have to cut it with scissors, you can tear it if you want. It's supposed to make it less noisy, but I don't know if it's really working. So for the 3rd course, we're gonna have 3 different dishes or saucepans you're gonna need. So you're gonna need one for the hash that we're gonna rewarm. It's just gonna be rewarming. You don't have to sear anything with this, just rewarming. Then you're gonna need one for the demi, which is the Luxardo and the demi that you're gonna put together. I'll show you that. And then one for a separate one, like a small little saute pan for the horseradish creme fraiche. And then, like I suggested, a roasting rack. So when you open up your bag for the 3rd course, it's vacuum sealed, so you have 2 6-ounce breasts. And they're going to be lightly seasoned already, so you don't have to worry about seasoning them unless you want it more peppery or more salty. That's all up to you. So then you want to cut that bag open, and while we're doing this, make sure the oven is preheating right now, and get your water on. So go ahead and put the duck breast on the roasting rack. Let me get that out of the way, sorry. And go ahead and put it skin side up, and then you can just get rid of the bag. And then just let that temper while we're gonna cook the 1st course, and then we'll go through all the motions for the next couple steps. Okay, so now that we have our mise en place kind of put in place, so over on the stove I have my pot here ready for my chowder. Oops. So the chowder, I love clam chowder and I love halibut. So I just figured why not put them both together. So you're just gonna gently warm this in a sauce pot. And you're just gonna wanna, and there's gonna be plenty, so you don't have to cook all of this. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know what you guys plan on doing on Valentine's Day, so you might just wanna just warm up a little because you definitely do have a couple courses that we're gonna move through, and it's gonna be pretty hearty. I mean, why not? It's cold, it's lovely outside, and all we do is just eat and bundle up. And, you know, watch. I don't know what you guys are watching, but I got some serious TV I'm watching. Big Sky, The Mentalist again. Why not? So we're just gonna warm it up. Oh, and then by the way, I will suggest the chowder is gonna be a little bit tight because it's been like soaking in the potatoes, and it's, you know, a cream-based soup, and there is a little roux in it. I would advise that you also purchase maybe some chicken broth that we sell at Amelia's, and I would just add probably about just like I don't know, like 2 ounces, 3 ounces, whatever you're comfortable with, like the thickness that you like, and then just stir that all together and just wait for it to warm up. And we're gonna pretend that's warm. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull some of these mise en places away so we can get ready for the next round. And then I'm gonna show you how I like to serve my soup. So once it gets nice and bubbly, I mean, you know when it's done, but I would definitely make sure you stir constantly, because if it sticks and you burn it, that's on you, it's not on me, okay? Because right now it's perfect. So yeah, just wiggle it around. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. And if you feel the need to add more pepper to it, go ahead and do that. A little more salt. But like I said, it should be on point. I don't know what the wine pairings are currently, but I'm pretty sure Jan has got some pretty bodacious wines. So once that gets nice and warm, scoop out yourself more than your loved one. I might add some saltines to this package because I think it might need it. Oh my gosh, I love clam chowder. I don't know. If you don't love clam chowder, something's wrong with you. That's all I'm saying. So let me put my dirty dishes away. And then also in that package, you have a ramekin of scallions and a ramekin of Tabasco sauce. Be careful not to spill the Tabasco all over. So just a little drizzle of Tabasco. And like I said, you have plenty for the next day. You can crack an egg on it in the morning with the leftovers. And that's how I would serve my clam chowder. Okie dokie, so moving on. Ooh, that Tabasco just made my eyes water. All right, so now for the next course. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the duck in the oven. So, like I said, it has already been rendered and slightly roasted to about, it's like rare to lightly medium rare. So I'm gonna throw it in the 355 or 350 degree oven for about 5 to 6 minutes. But like I said, it is cold. So like if you pull out the bag ahead of time and you go ahead and like kind of like temper it, then you're gonna have less time in the oven. And you know, you can take all the time in the world with this dinner. You don't have to rush like I'm rushing through it. So, you know, have some soup, some wine, chill, and then next episode, and you eat meatballs. Okay, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven, and we're gonna go ahead and get our pasta dish going. So that's in the oven, and I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer, because if I don't set a timer, I will forget. So let's set it for 5 minutes. Okay, so now for the second course, you have a couple of different containers here. So the large quart container holds 6 meatballs, and then the Pomodoro sauce, which Pomodoro sauce is made of basically a tomato sauce with a whole bunch of garlic, basil, and onion, and then a whole bunch of olive oil. So I'm just gonna throw some here, and I'm not gonna make the whole dish for two because I don't have enough space for it. But I also, if you can see on top, right over here, my water's already boiling. And I'm gonna go ahead and crank that up so it is a full boil. That way I can get my pasta going. And this pasta is from Bettini Pasta, and it's great spaghetti. It takes about 45 minutes for it to cook thoroughly. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some meatballs. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go all in. And I'm also gonna show you something that I like to do, how I like to plate my spaghetti meatballs with some garlic bread. Put that back in my dirty dishes. Alright, so while this is working, I'm gonna turn this down low so it doesn't overheat or burn. And also you wanna keep looking at it, shaking it, or slightly stirring it. And if you want to put it into a larger container, or to a larger pot, or like a dish or a pot that has like larger sides, that's fine. Whatever works for you. So as soon as this comes to full boil, I'm going to add these 2 nests of the spaghetti, again from the Bettini Pasta. And this also is a lot of pasta. It's I think it's a 3 to 4 ounce bundle. And on the menu, it doesn't say Parmesan, but we're gonna top it with Parmesan, and then we're gonna add this to the tomato sauce. And it's boiling already. And if it has been tempering, it's gonna be pretty quick. And the meatballs are made of pork and a little bit of beef, and it's gonna be Italian sausage. So you get that, like, I don't know, like that bolognese kind of thing going on. Also, there's a little container of garlic bread. So the garlic bread already has it's been soaked in a roasted garlic oil, and then I smeared a whole bunch of garlic on top, and then also some Parmesan. And then just throw it in the oven just to kind of warm it up, just real briefly. And don't forget your ducks in the oven. Don't forget all your ducks. I don't know why this water's taking so long, but I put the lid back on. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna have a drink of wine, as you guys should be doing too. This is so much fun. This is like the new thing for us. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys have any feedback, that'd be great. Only good though. All right, so my timer's about to go off with my duck in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that duck out. Where I'm gonna check it at least. So when I pull my duck out, like I said, it's already been rendered. If you check the back side of it, check the flesh side. If it's really a little rare looking, go ahead and just throw it back in the oven for probably about another 4 or 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and reset my timer. Oh look, perfect timing. I'm gonna go 5 minutes, that'll probably be just enough time. I'll go ahead and get my plates ready. Oh, okay, so we're great, we're boiling now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my nests right in there. And then don't forget, you need to salt your water. And then always agitate your pasta as soon as it goes into the water, because if you don't, then it's all gonna stick together. If you didn't, you're gonna get clumps. Okay, so we'll give that just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and turn back up our meatballs. And then make sure you're testing the sauce. And go ahead and season it just a little bit more with some salt and pepper. Oops, it always happens, pepper and salt. I mean, it literally always happens. And then I gave you some basil, so go ahead and just add however much basil you want. If you don't add basil, you don't have to, there's already basil in the sauce. And then I would gently stir that all together. And then at this point, your bread should be nice and warm through. And I'm gonna put this right over here. Let that cool down a little bit. And now, I do believe our pasta is ready. Be careful for it to not overboil. And strain it, not into the sink, but into a strainer. So, and then I like to always agitate the strainer after I, pull it off. I mean, everyone should know how to strain, but everyone should know everything, I guess. All right, so now I'm just gonna make a nest. Well, actually, here's what I wanna do. I'm gonna put a piece of bread down first. Then I'm gonna make a little nest of pasta right on top of it. And again, you could do whatever you want with it, but this is how I like to do it. And once you get all your basil and meatballs all sauced up, and if you don't want to eat all the meatballs in one sitting, that's a bad idea, but those look pretty good. I must say, I'm gonna get some Sangiovese with this. All right, and then just be generous with the sauce. And then we have plenty of Parmesan. You have 2 ramekins. And then I would just go ahead and put another piece of toast on top. And just make it rain. Or snow, I guess. Oh, that smells so good. I want to say that really cheesy line. You guys all know what I'm thinking. Don't you? Smell vision. All right, so that's that course. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now for this next course, we have a little bit more to deal with. So we have one, let's pull the duck out of the oven. And I need to get rid of these 2 things. So we have the duck that should be nice and medium rare. I like mine kind of more on the rare side. So I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna put it on my chopping block and I'm gonna let it sit there while I prepare the rest of the dish. So this one, like I said, we needed 3 different pans. So we have one for the hash, which is this container. And when you receive it, it's all gonna be mixed together. So it has the fingerlings, the carrots, the kohlrabi, the date confit, and the caramelized onions. So we'll just open that up, get that ready. The fried shallots are gonna be for garnish. And then we have the demi-glace, and that's gonna go with the luxardo. And then we have the celery puree. And then we have a little remoulade too, which I'll show you what's going on with that in a second. Okay, so I have my 3 pans I'm gonna be using. Get rid of the basil. All right, so just, I would start with some butter with the hash. My pan's very nice and warm. And you're just gonna warm it up gently. And again, there's probably more than you need for your dinner this evening. Which is just fine because then again, an egg on top of this, very good. So just warm this up really gently. I would say if you're working on gas, just put it on like a 3 or 2. Because we're gonna have to take some time to warm up the cauliflower horseradish puree, sorry. Cauliflower horseradish puree. So just dump it in there. And then with this one, I would suggest that you thin it down with a little bit of heavy cream, which you could also purchase at Amelia's. Or just like a little milk or a little touch of water. It doesn't take much. That way it's a little bit more smoothable for the plate. So just a little touch of that. And again, I'll put that on just like a simmer. And this is going to take a matter of about 3 minutes or so. And if you're doing too many pans, you don't want to get overloaded because then something's going to get burnt. So just keep that in mind. So in my last pan, I'm going to go ahead and add my demi-glace. And then, so in this pint container, or 8-ounce container, you're gonna have cherries and you're gonna have the cherry gloss. So you just wanna put like the syrup into the demi because we're also gonna just put the starter cherries on top of the duck when we're done. So put this to the side with the shallots. Okay, so everything's turned on, everything's simmering. We're almost done, you guys. Halfway done. So just keep sauteing. Or if you're not comfortable sauteing, just use a spoon and just stir it around. And once it's all warmed through, then we will plate. And the duck's been resting, so that means that the blood has, or the liquid in the duck has kind of like moved out, so it's just not gonna bleed over the plate. So we're almost done. Season again if you want. Just taste it if you need more seasoning. Okay, you're almost there. Looks good. And then I will say that the demi-glace, it is best to kind of bring it to a really nice gentle boil. And you just want to kind of stir it around either with a spoon or with your hand. Maybe add a touch of butter. And then just kind of mix that in as well. And once it's all emulsified, then we're going to start to plate. All right, I'm excited about this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my plates out. All right, see now my duck has rested. It's not cold, but it has been nice and like thoroughly treated, in my words. So then also that little thing of gremolata that I told you about, I'm going to finish the hash with it. So it just adds a little bit more earthiness and some acidity and some like garlic to it. So gremolata is basically just a little garnish of parsley, lemon zest, and garlic. So, I don't know, something you know. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and toss that all together. And then put that down on the side of the plate. And yeah, do whatever you want, however much you want. And then, so I made my horseradish puree smooth enough that I can kind of make it like a cool sauce on the plate. So what I would do is just kind of, make it kind of fancy. Something kind of similar to that. And then at this point, I'm going to go ahead and slice the duck. And there's enough duck here for at least 4 people. So like I said, I like mine a little bit on the rare side. So then I'm going to split it up. And you always want to present your duck skin side up so that way it doesn't get soggy. So there's that. And then now I'm going back to my demi-glace, which is on top of the stove, and now it's all emulsified together. Getting it. And then, yeah, just kind of pour it over the duck, however much you want. Sometimes less is more, sometimes more is best. Make sure all your burners are turned off. And then I would just garnish it with a few cherries. Oops, they're slippery. And there we go. And then, parted my towel. And then we have some fried shallots. And there you go. So that's the third course. Hope you enjoy. And then finally, we have cheesecake. There you go. Yeah, so we have a blood orange cheesecake. Pardon my fingers. It's absolutely delicious. There's a blood orange gel in the middle. Our pastry chef, Megan, makes them, and she makes beautiful cheesecake. So there you go. There's your full dinner. Appreciate it. Happy Valentine's Day, lovers. Or non-lovers. Or whoever.
Here you go.